All right, guys. Hard-fought game as we expected it would. As we watch Penn State on film, obviously they've got older guys that are experienced. I think they have really tough and competitive guys, and Mike has got them playing really, really well. I think, um, we had a stretch where we knew certainly they were going to um, come at us. It's a sign of a good team and a well-coached team, and they did. They pushed us. We made a couple threes there to take it from a two-possession game to a three-possession game and a four-possession game, which was I think really big plays. So I give our guys credit for that. Good environment. I give our guys credit for responding. We can do some things better, but all in all, a great first Big Ten win here.
What did you see from your guys in those last couple of minutes? You've been in battles this season. You've had last second decisions.
Yeah.
What did you see this time from your guys as they held on to a lead?
Adam, I think it was a kind of a situation where our guys made some shots, and it's simple as that. I mean, I'm not saying it just boiled down to that. I thought we were able to get some stops when we needed to. Um, we had trouble getting to the foul line. They only had two fouls with about 5 or 6 minutes to go. So um, we needed to be a little more forceful in our play to get to the foul line earlier. That's normally when we can get to the foul line. I thought that hurt us a little bit, but again, I thought Michi and Justin's 2 threes were really critical for us when they were collapsing, as was Kyle's. So, I think we were able to just kind of keep it within a little bit of distance there when the crowd got into it.
And the timeout you called in the first half, you went up 5-0. They scored 12 straight. Michi came out, I think, hit a three right away.
Yeah.
What were you trying to get across to your players at that point?
Well, I just thought we had to play with a little more force, and we were giving them the ball. We were giving them the ball with some really sloppy plays. So we ran an action, and it's got two options on it, and Michi is the second option. Jamari made a great read on it.
What does Jamari Wheeler add to this team, and what do you think of how he played tonight despite all of the crowd getting into his play and everything?
Yeah, I give Jamari a lot of credit. I think he expected, the crowd to obviously give him some attention. I know there were some positive things said to him as well, which I know he appreciated. He loves this place, so I know it was an emotional game for him in a lot of ways. What he's been for us is just a really consistent, everyday guy, a really consistent worker who's consumed with winning, and you can't have too many of those guys on your team.
Mike is obviously not new to the Big Ten from the standpoint of a guy that's been on the bench for a while. What is the sort of the book on a guy that maybe you've coached against directly and indirectly now that he's in a head coaching role and has a lot more control over a lot of things?
Yeah, there's some, Mike, I've known Micah for years. There's some tendencies from, all the terrific coaches he's worked for. You can see, and he's got a terrific offensive mind. I've always heard that about him, and I know that to be true from people who know him well. I just think you see some tendencies from both Matt and Brad and the guys that he's worked for, and obviously he's putting his own influence on this team. His kids seem bought in. He's got some guys that Lundy has always bothered us every time we played him. Harar's been terrific against us every time we played him. Dred's a really good player. And then obviously added some impact transfers.
How does this Penn State team differ from Penn State teams you've coached against in the past?
They defend just a little bit differently. Those teams before, this team makes it very difficult for you with the way they play. And they collapse in the post. They collapse on drives. They're in the gaps. That Penn State team was really disruptive, the ones we played in the past. I think they just play a different style. Offensively, they played really fast the last couple years, really fast. And I think they still play fast at times, but I know they had a lot of depth in the last couple years, and there's some really good teams. Somebody have a question? Okay, is that it? All right, thanks.